Okay, welcome back, everybody. Today we're going to talk about the Ramayana, the ancient epic of ancient India, and we'll see how it relates to Joseph Campbell's monomyth slash hero's journey. But real quick, I wanted to do some announcements because we're actually getting surprisingly close to the end of the class. We've basically got about 3 weeks left since our class is Tuesday, Thursday. We're going to be done before some classes get done on Monday. So yeah, it's going to be pretty wild. Basically, we've got this week where we talk about the Ramayana and the movie Labyrinth. We've got next week where we have a discussion kind of on film and the hero's journey. And we also might discuss the upcoming essay. And then we've got a review session for the exam. So that's pretty much what all of a week from Thursday is going to be devoted to, is reviewing for the exam. And then on the Tuesday the 5th, we have the final exam to be taken online. And then actually we have one more day after that, and that's a day for the final essay slash story project. Originally, these were two different assignments. I'm going to make them basically the same thing because this semester's a little weird and awkward. So yeah, that day you'll have time to work on that, and it will be due by midnight. So that will be officially our last day of class. So let me talk about these days one by one. So today we're talking about the Ramayana, the context of the hero's journey. This is about a guy named Rama, and we'll get to meet him in just a second here. But then on Thursday, what we're going to do is we're basically going to watch the movie Labyrinth. I found a playlist that has a lot of clips from the movie. I'm not so sure about how I would be able to figure out uploading Labyrinth, or even if that would be legally allowed to upload the movie to D2L. I would if I could, because it's an educational thing, but it's kind of logistically tricky. So what I did is I found a playlist that has a lot of clips of the movie Labyrinth, and ideally going through those should give you a sense of what the movie's about and how it works. And we'll talk about that movie in relation to the hero's journey. So we'll basically have almost the whole movie there. And so there will be a lot for us to talk about. That said, if you want to track down the movie on your own and find it by some means, not saying how you want to do that, but if you think you have a means to watch the movie Labyrinth from beginning to end, and you think that'd be more fun than just watching clips that are mostly from beginning to end, then I say go for it. But yeah, we'll have a discussion on that movie and how it kind of works as a hero's journey type of movie. And that will lead us into our discussion on the next Tuesday, which will be kind of about film and the hero's journey in general. We'll also set aside some time to sort of kind of brainstorm ideas for the final project slash story project. So basically, assignments, I'm going to scroll up to the projects here of class. We have less time than we used to. Basically, for the end of the class, you can pick either one. There are two things you can do. One is the final essay on film and myth. So your goal will be to write an analysis of a film using at least two of the methods that we have been looking at in the second half of this class. So as a refresher, those are Propian analysis, Jung's archetypes, Joseph Campbell's monomyth. You could also talk about gender roles if you want. That's kind of been a recurring theme throughout this class. And structuralist analysis, Levi-Strauss's whole pairs of opposites and mediators type of approach. So I would say pick at least two of those to get full credit. And in an essay of about 6 pages, analyze a particular film as the subject of the final essay. So this could be any film that you think would be good for a mythological analysis. If you want to do something besides a film, get in touch with me and see if that would be a good choice. Like I know in the past some people have done video games and things like that. But actually just getting in touch with me about your choice in general is good, because I can tell you if it'll work, if I think it'll work well for mythological analysis. But I think a lot of films and things will. There's some possibilities listed here if you just need some ideas to brainstorm. A lot of these really kind of work well with a hero's journey or Jungian type of analysis. Work with a lot of types of analysis, so you could do any of those. That's the film and myth essay. That's one option. The other option is to do a story project. Okay, so for the story project, you will pick one of these different approaches. Props functions, Jung's archetypes, Campbell's monomyth, and or, so it can be at least one, Levi-Strauss's structuralist ideas. And your goal will be to write a story, like a fantastical story, a fantasy adventure. And then that will be part of your submission to me. You also have to explain how you came up with your story. So whether you want that to be like 4 pages of story, 2 pages of analysis, or something in that range, 3 and 3, something around that amount would be pretty good. So you'd explain how your story fits the sort of structure that you chose and kind of connect it to the mythological themes that we've been looking at in class. So yeah, basically you can write a story or you can analyze one. You can write your own story and then talk about how you connected that to these structures. And that's important. If you don't have a sort of explanation of how you came up with things, you won't get full credit on that. Or you can write an essay on a film and how it compares to these approaches of mythology. And for the film, I would say pick at least 2 approaches. For the story project, I would say pick. You only have to pick one because it may be easier that way to structure it around just one. But yeah, the due date of this is the last day, which is the 7th. So by midnight on the 7th, that means if it's 11:59 on the 7th, you're good. By the time it's the 8th, it's too late. I'm going to have a Dropbox open for that long. Yeah, and that will be turned in online, much like everything. So I've changed the grade breakdown a little bit. So now that's going to be a major part of your final grade, so keep that in mind. And because there's only one project here to kind of make or break the grade. But I've also upped the value of things like attendance, which is now done through participation in the discussion questions and quizzes. Okay, so yeah, let's go back to the schedule here. We talked about basically everything. But yeah, that means that today is the Ramayana, Thursday is Labyrinth, Tuesday is sort of general film and archetypes discussion, and the discussion about sort of brainstorming what you want to do for the story project final essay. Then the 30th, that Thursday is going to be the review session, then weekend, and then the Tuesday is going to be the exam, and then the final Thursday is going to be work on the writing day. And that's the day that things will be due by midnight. All right. Yeah, if you guys have any questions about that, let me know. And yes, okay. I think that's everything. So I will see you guys in the discussion of the Ramayana.